Well, hello to all you shooters and reloaders out there, and to the Three Circles passengers and members. Hope you're having a great day. It's a nice spring day out here, and we're going to do a video on what's new in the hot lead zone. And one of the new things is this. It's a Con over-under shotgun made in Turkey. It's got a nice wide ventilated rib, interchangeable choke tubes, and it's got automatic ejector and single selective trigger, nice Turkish walnut stock recoil pad. And this gun is in the hot lead zone because we're going to use it to shoot slugs with a cylinder bore choke tubes, and we're also going to use Chazelle barrel inserts so that we can shoot other calibers in it. And this is a nice inexpensive shotgun, and it's perfect for use as slugs and for Chazelle inserts. Incidentally, there's a parallel there. Remember when Dave Thorzak's, that's Thorzak 777, remember when he had a TriStar over-under shotgun, doing some trap shooting with it and reloading for it and all that kind of thing? Well, that's another example of a Turkish shotgun, very similar to this Con here. So hello to Dave Thorzak's out there. Before we get into other new things in the hot lead zone, I'd like to show you a clip that's very interesting for us shooters. It's from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and it shows Chief Engineer O'Brien doing some repairs on the space station, and see if you can pick up the real interesting aspects of it.
Anything I can help you with, Chief?
No, I'm just making sure these upper pylons are in working condition by morning.
You're an inspiration to us all.
There were several traps laying.
Well, did you notice that in that unit that Chief O'Brien opened up, there were these red things with brass ends on, and they looked like contacts on the brass ends, and they were some kind of diodes. But what they really were, and this is some kind of perverse use of props by the prop man, what they really were 12 gauge empty shells. Did you see the little primer on the end and the open mouth on one of the other ones? Very interesting, don't you think, that that would be used for a Star Trek Deep Space Nine clip episode? Now, I bet a lot of you didn't know that these things are really binary. Like, this is on, and that's off. Or that's negative, that's positive. Or this is open, and this is closed. Well, we got these nice cylinder bore removable chokes for Beretta shotguns. And all shotguns that take the Beretta choke, such as that Con that I just showed you. Well, the cylinder bore choke tubes are really handy because if you want to shoot slugs, you're in business. And also they're great for like Station 8 on skeet and sporting clays for shooting things like the rabbit and some other real short range targets in sporting clays. So I got 3 of these because you need 2 of them for an over-under. And then 1 can be for any single barrel that you might have need for it. Now also on the shotgun front, I shopped at Ballistic Products, and they are out of hulls, except I found these Cheddite 12 gauge 16 millimeter brass, clear, already primed, skived, all ready to load. These were available at Ballistic Products, and I went ahead and got 3 of them. That's 300 more empty hulls, and the beauty is they're already primed. So that's like getting 300 primers thrown into the deal. At any rate, I'll look forward to loading these for slugs, and it should be fun. Can't have too many of these casings. Now, after I ordered these, Ballistic Products is out, but I'm pleased to report that they have on hand right now in stock the 8mm brass casing version of the same hull available in stock. So apparently I don't need to order any more. I like these with a taller brass head, but the short brass is just as good really for any of our loads that we want to use. Now, when brass was just getting scarce and some of the common calibers were hard to find, there were still some oddball ones that could still be found. And before they ran dry, I went ahead and bought these 4 boxes of 3040 Krag brass made by Hornady. And so I'm glad I got that. And even though I don't have a rifle that takes 3040 Krag, I'm going to be having one made very soon. So look forward to reloading videos on the 3040 Krag, a very history encrusted round in the United States. Now, of course, having brass is useless if you don't have the reloading dies. So what I've got here is a set of Lee reloading dies. It's got the full-length sizer, the seater, and also the crimper, along with a shell holder, which we'll need, and then a nice dipper. And I actually got an extra sizing die and an extra seating die because they have these in different die sets, and I wasn't taking any chances. So I've got these all ready to go for the loading of the 3040 Krag. So here you see a 243 Winchester Reading body sizing die, which I'll be using to bump the shoulder on my 243 Winchester cases. And then here we have a neck sizing collet die for the 243 Winchester, made by Lee, of course. And this will allow me to size the necks and also have that neck in perfect concentricity with the long axis of the case because of the design and construction of this fine collet neck sizing die from Lee. And speaking of the 243 Winchester, I went ahead and got this case gauge made by Hornady for the 243 Winchester. And I'll look forward to using that. You put the brass casing in here, and then you'll be able to read if the head space is between the go and no go or not from this gauge. Now, no introductions are really needed here. These are my Chazelle barrels. You've already seen these in 4570 and 3030 Winchester, 2 each for my over-under shotguns. But what is new in the hot lead zone is we now have a Chazelle barrel for our 12 gauge that's in 44 Magnum, 44 Special caliber. That is a 1 in 20 twist, which is a standard twist for the 44 Magnum, 18-inch long barrel. But also we've got a 12 gauge insert chambered in 45 Colt with a 1 in 16-inch twist and also an 18-inch barrel. So we've got the same length as the 3030 barrels, but our 4570 barrels back there are 24-inch barrels. Well, the owner of Chazelle Barrels in Georgia is really good to do business with. He responds best to text messages, and turns out that I've also got a couple of 410 barrels on standing order, Chazelle. And very important is to have a nice mineral oil coated rag to wipe off these barrels and keep them in pristine condition. So there you go, all the new things in the hot lead zone that we're going to be making videos on coming up, and also your requests and questions. At any rate, have a very nice rest of the spring and early summer. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.